Alright, hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. I think we're going to go to... you know what, I think we'll go to Crystal Snail. I want to start collecting some stuff. And he is another difficult boss if you do not have his weakness. But fortunately for us, we do. And we have some ice here, which is fun to deal with. I'm not going to go that way yet, because I can't get that yet. And we get the ride armor again. And there's ice we can break. You can't, however, break the solid blue ice. That gets broken by those big hunks of green ice. Be careful not to let them crush you, because that can totally happen. And if you go up this way and use the ride armor, this gets you into the alternate area with the where you would fight one of those optional bosses, but one of them, well, none of them are at this stage. And here's where you can make use of the charged attack grinding, and that gets us a 1-up, but now we have to abandon our ride armor and come up here and fight this mini-boss, who is really easy with the spin wheel, because you just hit him so many times and he'll die very quickly. Just like that. If you let the battle drag out and you're fighting him normally, he'll send out another one of those things to attack you. I want to ride this to get that. And he's actually quite difficult, but with the wheel weapon, not that bad. Special weapon. That's not as useful as I'd like it to be. Well, we're going to get this capsule while there's enemies still firing. Mega Man X, enter this capsule. This enhancement will modify your radar optics. It uses some energy, but with it you will be able to see objects that you could not see before. Good luck, Mega Man. Alright, so this is the helmet upgrade, and I like the looks of the helmet in Mega Man X2. It looks pretty sweet. And it will show us secret passageways. Let's try and use this again. After my complete failure of using special weapons earlier. Am I, like, not picking these up or anything? Oh, maybe I am. I'm just not hearing the sound for it. So the magnet mine, we can control the direction it goes. Oh. Only I can fire at these bats better. And the blue ice is an indication that we have another giant green ice coming up. There it is. Oh, come on. I'm just playing very poorly today. And this is the place where lots of bats like to swarm us. Hey, don't try to hide out in that, I want to demonstrate this. Don't try to hide out in there, because the green ice will just crush you. And that wouldn't be good. And just trigger that one and then get out of there. And with that, we are at Crystal Snail. And his weakness is the magnet mine that we just got from Magnus Centipede. And he's also a very challenging boss to battle with just the Buster, because he has... oh, he has an ability to... ow. He has an ability to slow down time, which he might do to us here. Yep. Not before we get to launch him. Well, he slows down time for us, not for him. And there's not too much we can do about that. That's okay. As you can see with the magnet mine, we have him almost dead. Can't even dodge a slow-moving mine. Fortunately, like most of the Mavericks in the X series, he suffers from Spark Mandrill syndrome. So he's not that bad to beat with his weakness weapon. And for that we get the ice weapon, the Crystal Hunter. I don't know why it's called Crystal Hunter, it's more like Crystal Blob. Another thing to note, if you go to a stage with one of the optional bosses, but you do not defeat that boss, or you attempt to challenge that boss and then end up getting a game over, you will not have access to that, to be able to challenge that boss again. So do be careful of that. I need some heart tanks. Where can I get one of those? I can get one here. This is also one of my favorite battles of the game. Morph Moth. And so this is kind of a junkyard theme. If you shoot those guys in the head, it takes them out completely. If you shoot them, I don't want to shoot that guy though. I want to freeze him. I wanted to climb on his head. If you shoot above him, his body will drop, and so will his head. But we'll come back to that in a moment. First, we have a... Hey, do you mind? I'm trying to get a upgrade here. If you use Wheelgator's ability, it gets you down into here, where we meet up with Dr. Light again. This enhancement will modify your body armor. With it, you can absorb damage and transfer it into explosive weapon energy. So this body armor introduces the Giga attack. As we take damage, it charges up, and when it's fully charged, we can do this. Which is kind of nifty. Not so nifty that we, just used it all. And we're also dealing with some gravity effects in this junkyard. Let's go back here. Okay, he's back. And if you freeze him, you can dash jump up to here and grab this heart tank, which is always good. I'll use the magnet mine. Because like I said, I'm going to try to use more special weapons. Oh, those guys usually take a ton of shots, and the magnet mine just tears through them. That's cool. We'll just hop back and forth here. Whoops. And if you go up this way, you get another 1-up. Lots of 1-ups in this game. It's almost like Mega Man 5 all over again. And now we get to one of the two mini-bosses we're going to see here. Let's see. I'll just use the Buster. You want to shoot this guy in the midsection there until he goes down. And then I think we're going to want Wheel for this part. Try not to do what I'm doing and get hit a lot. Usually the way the bug faces is the way that he will appear and we can't shoot him from the back, so we couldn't get the jump on this one. I'm just going to use the buster because I'm so used to doing that. And do be careful of those green bugs. They'll try to jump on your head, and if you do, you'll kind of lose control over... Ow. I'm trying to get up here. Ow. Alright, how do I get over there when I don't have... Ow. There we go. And we can go into the optional boss fight, and we're fighting Violin. X, I shall crush you like a... I didn't read that fast enough. Violin, kind of challenging, because his spike ball is random. And it tends to hit you a lot. Alright, now I gotta get back into here. Which that alone is challenging when we don't have the leg upgrade. And I don't believe we have Violin's weakness at this moment, so we'll have to use the Buster. But his aerial attack, not too difficult to dodge. It's that wrecking ball, because you never know where it's going to go, necessarily. Except it will go towards you. So you almost want to damage race this guy while trying to... Hey, get away. You want to make sure you keep damaging him. Oh, he's gonna just do this now. That's fine. As long as it's not the wrecking ball. And for that, we beat him. It cannot be. Now the unification is in jeopardy. So these guys had, we got Zero part number 2. If we go to our menu screen, we have Zero's body part. His chest and arm. We can collect the legs and the head from the other two, and when we do, we assemble Zero. And one thing that's kind of neat about Mega Man X2 is that if you assemble Zero, you trigger a bit of a different scene than what you would have gotten if you did not collect all of Zero's parts. And I'm having problems with those guys. Oh. Alright. I need something to use on those green... Can I freeze you? I can freeze you. Yep, I've been caught. And he let me off right away. This guy's not. And you can see I'm not really doing this. And so sometimes it'll cause you to fire. You still have control over yourself, but it's like two people are using the same controller at once. And that just doesn't work well. Those guys are mainly there to annoy us. Kind of like this guy. I'll try this. Huh. That didn't do too bad. You can control the direction of the magnet mine up and down, And Magnet Mine does some decent damage. You just gotta be able to hit with it. Hit with it. Oh boy. So once you have the spin wheel... Ow. Evil dragonfly. You can use it like that on those cannon guys that occasionally like to guard the doors to bosses. And this is Moth. Wait, you're not the guy we saw in the picture. What gives? So Moth will start out in this larva form and throw all sorts of garbage and junk at us. And then we'll suck up a bunch of garbage and junk. And so you just have to be really quick, stay ahead of that garbage spewing out, and just find the spots where you can walk underneath. If you do get hit a couple times, not a big deal. And once you take away about 2/3 of their health, then you get to start the real battle with the giant moth himself. I recommend staying over to the far wall because he can't hit you with his powder when he does that, and then avoid his beam, and he goes down quite quickly. And for that, we're going to get the Silk Shot, which is kind of an interesting weapon. And there's a password for those of you who are playing along at home.